Assalamu alaikum students. This is your English teacher Miss Aisha. Today we are going to read the second chapter of our textbook, The Language Expedition for class 7. The name of the unit number 2 is The Green Guardian, and this starts from page number 8 till page number 18 in your textbook. So the learning objectives of this chapter will be, by the end of the lesson the student should be able to comprehend the main idea, message and the characters development within the story The Green Guardian. And the teaching strategies which we will use is elicitation, guided reading, and first we will introduce about the topic in this chapter, and we will warm up within 10 minutes. We will introduce the idea of reading between the lines, and we will explain that it means the understanding information that is not stated directly but can be understood through clues. We will ask students to think about then that how writers sometimes show feelings or messages without saying them clearly, and that we have to understood by the deeper meanings. We will introduce the title The Green Guardian, and I will ask students to predict what kind of character a guardian might be and what the story could be about. And we will write something on the board also about these things. And let's say about the guided reading, and I will ask you to read the chapter by yourself for a few minutes silently, and I will then briefly explain, and reading for understanding, I will read the chapter aloud and clearly state the pronunciation of all the words. Listen carefully, and I will tell you about the vocabulary, characters, actions and motivations. The focus of our discussion will be on the Arif's role in the story, how his actions reflect care for the environment, and we will understand the theme and message. We will explain that story often carry messages or themes, and we will ask students to identify the actions in the story that shows environmental responsibility, how Arif change or develops as the story progresses. We will highlight how authors use characters to communicate ideas and values, and we will explain the skimming, reading quickly to understand the main idea. I will explain scanning, reading quickly to find specific information, demonstrate briefly using a paragraph from the text. I will ask the student to practice and the main idea of a paragraph, and then the students will do the exercise on the page number. It is on page number 12. That is reading for understanding. These are the exercises. Answer the following question number A till question number E. We will see which question is very important and which we can skip. So after this 10 minutes warm up, we will complete reading for understanding questions. Some of the questions we will write down by ourselves, and the rest will be done by the students. Finally, student will be assessed on their ability to comprehend the main idea, message and characters development within the story Green Guardian. And then we will see if there is any important exercise in the book in the end of this chapter. Is there anything we should do importantly? Then this will the whole chapter will be done. First of all, we will read the chapter, then we will do the words and explanation, and then we will complete this chapter after some question and answers, and then the words and sentence I will give you as always, I give you the some of the words from the text, and then we did the thing. You guys write down the chapter important words in your sentences. So this is the story of Arif. Lived in a picturesque village in Punjab, surrounded by lush green meadows, sparkling streams, and acres of crops and vegetables. Birds with brightly colored plumage flitted in the branches of ancient trees, and squirrels chased one another in the grass and raced up the trees. This is the situation of that area, that is the village in Punjab. Later, Arif's father Shiraz was a farmer, and his mother Sakina take care of the household chores. After Arif would go to school in the morning, breathing the sweet and invigoratingly fresh air. In the evening, he would play with his friends but always return home by Maghrib. It was a small but peaceful village where the inhabitants lived happily like one big family. One evening, his father told Sakina and Arif that the village Chaudhry headman's son had returned from abroad after completing his high studies. He now planned to set up a chemical factory on the outskirts of the village. Carefully notice all the important words that you do not understand exactly. Underline these words, like there is the word outskirt, so you have to invigoratingly, plumage, flitted. Just underline these words, then we will write down the meanings of these words. Soon after, the village saw heavy duty vehicles trundling back and forth, and a signboard with rainbow chemicals written on it. A huge pit was dug, lined with large and heavy metal sheets and filled with tons of boulders. Boulders mean the huge heavy rocks, to provide a strong foundation for the factory. As soon as the machinery was installed, the chemical factory began to function. In the beginning, villagers from not only Arif's village but from neighboring village as well were happy, as those who had no land for business of their own got work in the factory. But their happiness was short-lived. The thick black smoke coming out of the huge chimneys soon hung like a dark ceiling, concealing the star-studded sky. Deafening clanging of machines, it means the loud sound of machines, drowned out the songs of the cuckoo and the nightingale. The lava-like toxic waste was pumped into the sparkling stream and river, which quenched it means to fulfill the thirst of several villages and their inhabitants. Even after a year has passed, the debris is the leftover waste material left over from the construction still scared the landscape. Old tires, canned pipes, metal rods, and other discarded material now lay in heaps around the factory. The animals that freely roamed the village were scared away by the monster-like vehicles that had become a permanent fixture in their once protected world. Complained of gastric and chest ailments due at a rapid pace, and unusual skin rash became a common occurrence among the villagers. Now, this was the biggest problem at that time that everyone was facing, that the beauty of that area, that village, just destroyed because of that chemical factory. They do not take care of the waste material and the health and the beauty and the atmosphere and surrounding and cleanliness of that village anymore. So this causes a lot of trouble. After that, Arif talked to that Chaudhry's son by himself, and he promised them that he will take care of these things, and he will install the chimneys to reduce the smoke. He will stop laying the dirty water or the poisonous toxic waste into the clear stream. And after these initiatives, slowly all of the things were like the village was before that time, before that factory. And the debris was clear, everyone become very healthy after that. And this was the struggle that shows the village began to heal. And Arif and his friends continued to play their part in maintaining the cleanliness and beauty of their surroundings. And after that, so many programmers, environmentalists were impressed and decided to document the village journey towards sustainability. And they captured Arif's struggles as well. Later, after so many years, Arif also became an environmental lawyer. He was very much successful. He got a lot of awards also, and he got higher studies in this field. And later, he did so many eco-friendly practices and supported the villagers, and to maintain clean and healthy environment. He became a passionate advocate for environmental conservation, and he pursued higher studies in environmental science and returned to his village to work on sustainable environment projects. And his efforts were recognized, and after that, the village that was once threatened by pollution had transformed into a beacon of hope. So there are some important words that we have to underline. And resilience. And the villagers, united by the love of their land, had shown that it was possible to overcome challenges and create a better future for themselves and their children. Its journey was dedicated environmentalist was a testament to the power of determination and community spirit. He learned that even the smallest action could make a significant difference, and that standing up for what is right could bring about positive change. In the end, the village of Punjab stood as shining example of how development and progress could coexist with environmental protection. The villagers, guided by Arif's vision and leadership, had created a legacy of sustainability that would inspire future generations to cherish and protect the natural world. Now we have to do some question and answers. I have selected some questions from the text, a reading for understanding. So there are some important words which I write it down, like the word picturesque, plumage flitted invigoratingly, inhabitant outskirt trundling, boulders clanging, quenched, contaminated, deterioration, extend, debris, haunt, deal, sustainability, incorporate, curriculum, thrive, persuade, beacon, testament, and legacy. So this is the question. What challenges did Arif notice in his village after the chemical factory was set up? He noticed that the air is thick with smoke and the water is dirty, the animals are scared, and people are getting sick. So this is the answer. We will check the answer number A and then answer the question C. What action did Arif and his friend take to address the pollution problem in their village? They went from house to house explaining the situation and urging everyone to come together to find a solution. Then we will now we will write the question D. How did the factory owner respond to the villagers' concern about pollution? This could be answer of the D also describe the measures taken by the factory owner to reduce pollution and improve condition. Like he promised to take immediate action by install filters on the chimney. To reduce the smoke, they set a proper waste management system. The debris around the factory are clear. So these answers are in the book, in the text side also. Here are some words that you have to make sentences in your own words. You have to use these words like meadows, toxic, observant, passionate, haunt, and legacy. You have to use these words, in your sentences. Do not copy. Do your work properly and clean and clear, and put the right margin, put the dates on, and try to do the work in neat writing. Okay, this is all about the chapter number 2. If there's any question you want to ask to me about, if you are not going to understand anything which is not acceptable to you during this lecture, you can come to me personally and ask me what you want to ask. And this is all about the second chapter. So it is complete. Thank you very much. Take this lecture as your future preparation, or if you want to read this, if you want to read this chapter again and again, you can use this lecture. So thank you very much. Bye bye.